Hey there, Jesus Freak, it's Irish Rabbit here with you once. I'm really sorry. I don't know why I did that. That was just uncalled for. I apologize. Okay, first off, let me just say that the kids who joined after the initial perpetrators played the game hadn't even played the game with them, so I don't see how that could possibly strengthen your argument. If anything, it weakens it in my opinion, but anyway. I have to say it's pretty small-minded to suggest that video games are the cause of the degradation of moral values in society simply because of a supposed influence, while the influence of everything else goes untouched. I have to go back to a point I made in a few videos earlier, and pose the question, were these kids just bad eggs to begin with? As soon as someone breaks the law and they're found to have played a video game at some point, a lot of ignorant people immediately make the assumption that video games made them do it. Well, I ask you this, was carjacking around before video games? Yes, it was. Were random acts of violence around before video games? Yes, they were. It just doesn't seem logical to me to suggest that video games are the influence for these acts of violence. I mean, the very fact that your video is titled, Proof, Video Games Can Influence Us to Sin, is absurd. This isn't any kind of proof. This, if anything, is just an excuse for you to make another video to get another however many thousand hits. I think it's 92,000 for the previous video. Furthermore, nothing makes you sin. There are temptations in life, but you have to get on your bike and deal with it. I mean, as soon as someone does something bad, you can't just say, oh, well, XYZ made him do it, because it doesn't work like that. Life's not that simple. A person does something wrong based on their own judgment of a situation. If I go see the movie Saw, and then go start to capture and torture people, did Saw make me do it? No, of course not. I did it because I wanted to. Of course these things influence us, but they're not the cause. I mean, when you go to church or whatever, and you hear a really kick-ass sermon, and then you walk out the door and you're like, yeah, I feel the power of Christ. You've been influenced to feel that way. It's like an adrenaline rush when you go watch an intense action movie. I think the people that go out and commit these crimes are just weak-minded people, and if they hadn't played a video game or watched a movie, they would have just put things together in their own head and gone out and done it, or something like it anyway. So no, this is not any sort of ownage. You didn't own anybody. If anything, you pointed out something reasonably obvious, pulled out a news clip that vaguely supports your point, which by the way I couldn't watch, pulled the supposed proof from out of your ass, and then ended the video in a way as to cause a maximum response, comment, and views. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to ask you to try harder.